Hi, welcome to Day 8, 10 Days to Greater Creativity. Today I'm going to invite you to learn a foreign language. If you've read anything about creativity, they say that taking a foreign language helps your creativity. Well, I'm going to ask you to do it for a little bit different reason than broadening your horizons, because learning anything new does help with your creativity. What I'm going to ask you to do is to look at the language itself. Maybe you'll just pull something up on a website just to learn a couple basics about the rules or some of the words from a foreign language. Maybe you'll take Duolingo, or maybe you'll talk to somebody who knows another language. But I just want you to get a little bit of a taste of what's different about that language from your own. You see, language is being creative in the field of communication. So you have different thoughts, and one of the best ways to share those thoughts is through words. And the problem is, we're trying to express something intangible with something that doesn't quite capture everything that we're thinking, sort of like taking a photograph and not being able to capture all the beauty of it, but you're getting close. That's the same thing that happens with words. But when you're using another language, you have another way to look at creativity. For example, in Irish Gaelic, you put the verb first, and that's something that's an interesting creative process, where you do something first and then figure out all the things that go with it, what's creative or how to do it better. The verb comes first. If you've learned anything about some of the adjectives in Spanish, well, they usually come after the noun, whereas in English, our adjectives come first. So think about that. Sometimes you put the object first, and sometimes you put it second. Your focus is different. In English, you build up to something, and in Spanish, you have that something first, and then you describe it. So in creativity, again, you're changing the order of things, just like Irish Gaelic. Some languages have different words depending on what number you're using. So 4 in an Icelandic language means something different depending on what you're trying to describe. There are some different languages like English and German that like to put different words together, make compound words. And that, you have to admit, is a lot of how people in America, at least, try to do creativity. They try to mash things together. So take what you see in a language, the different little quirks, male or female pronouns. Well, how can you look at something that's the same but look at it from two different perspectives? Or just any other form of how you make a question, how your tones change. Any little thing that you notice about a language that's different, you might like to try out in your creativity. You might even notice how in Chinese, the language that is written was actually based on pictures, and that might be helpful to you. Don't just try to write down your ideas, make pictures out of them. And then in the Chinese language, it became more stylized and formalized so that you made them more abstract. And you could do that as well. You could make pictures that pretty much tell what you're going to do, and then make it more abstract, make it more like a symbolic language or a code for yourself. What I'm asking you to do is to look at creativity as if it's a foreign language. Give it some different test runs and try out some different ways to use your creativity based on whatever foreign language you look at, and see what's different. Maybe this will help you with your change of perspective, but whatever it is, at least you'll have tried something to deepen your creativity and to actually think about, how do you get your thoughts and your ideas across to people? Because that's what's going to be next. One of the ways to create creativity is how we communicate it. So think of this as a pretest, a little trial run to think about creativity in language and how it helps you to be more creative. Because the next lesson is going to be about how you share creativity through language and other means, but how you try to make that connection with somebody else when we're using tools such as language that aren't quite perfect, but they're the best that we've come up with. They're creative too. So try out the different forms and see what you come up with and let me know. Put something in the comments below and I'll get back to you and let you know what I've done with mine. Thank you, God bless, and have a great time with your creativity. It's great to have some fun with it and not just play, but learn. Take care.